Hey everybody, it's the Jay and Gary Pancreatic Cancer Cast, and listen, I'm starting to get my mellifluous tones back.
Sounds good. Look at all the people that I got on the screen. It's a kind of an awkward, clunky shot, but
cool though.
With our rapid technology, that's what got set up. Little quick review. You were diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer in the middle of May, I think.
Pancan.
Yeah. And it is stage 4, it's spread to a couple of other organs, getting into your liver, getting into some lymph nodes. And now you've just finished your, fourth chemo?
Fourth round, and I'm done for a little hiatus, not much. I have another CAT scan in a week. My doctor is taking her boards. She'll be back on the 19th, and that's when we'll look at them.
That's pretty frustrating because you know the test had been done, but you won't get the results for like a week.
But I'll still be in treatment.
Yeah,
I won't stop treatment.
So let's introduce the other folks on the screen here.
Sure.
Your daughter.
Hi, everybody.
That's my daughter Sara, who's taking care of me, along with Melissa this week, helping us both out.
And the other person on the screen here, I can never figure out screen rights and lefts or whatever.
You can never figure out who she is.
Yeah.
Your wife, Gary.
I can never figure out who that person is sitting next to me. It's my wife, Cyndi.
Yay. Cyndi.
Yes. You can spell it right. All right. How are you feeling now? How are you feeling now, and how has it been since the last show?
We've had some really, really rough days since the last show. Really rough. Just nauseous, tired, no energy, nothing. And so today, doing a little better, eating a little bit. Still nauseous and very tired. Have to have help getting up out of the car and in the car and getting around a little bit from Sara. We just went for my
Hydration.
White blood cell treatment and hydration.
Good.
So I'm good until next week sometime. Melissa's got that calendar under wraps. Huh? We have, it's in the portal. I'll have to look and see what's next. But anyway, something's coming up. It always is.
So what are they doing with the nausea? What seems to be a good cocktail, or is there one for you?
Well, I've got several, I think. I don't know. I know there's one I take before I eat. How many nausea things do I have?
Take Zofran, Compazine, you take Freon, which is a
3.
the pancreatic cancer enzyme.
But that's not a nausea. Well, I guess it is.
Help kind of calm it down. Then take that. Now you start this metro stuff, which seems to be boosting your appetite.
So 4.
4.
Wow.
Even so, you have been losing a lot of weight.
Yeah, not wanting to eat, things just not tasting good.
You had sort of a reserve of body size.
Yeah, I've lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, when you started, and you're now down to in the 160s.
Yes.
Which for your size is at the low end of normal still, but it's still not good.
I'm not obese anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, but your appetite has not come up. You're eating a little bit today, but your appetite hasn't come up to being able to sustain
that's why they gave
weight.
No.
Yeah, not until today, but
Well, that's why they gave me some.
yesterday when we were at his appointment, I'm going to pull up this screenshot that I have, but I was looking up just appetite stimulants, just doing some of my own research. And so I asked the nurse about it, and she sent a note to the oncologist, and then the oncologist immediately filled it. But it's called Megastrol acetate. And it just works by stimulating the appetite in order to treat or prevent weight loss. And on cancer.gov, they've got a good article about it. But
They won't give me gummies.
well, they can. His primary doctor never got back to us about if he can have any weed gummies, but I asked my psychiatrist about it yesterday and told her our concern was the fentanyl and about that mix, but she said go for it. She's all for CBD and THC and those two mixing, and she said if it's a, start low, see how it goes, but that's just my doctor. That's not his, but oh my gosh, that's been suggested over and over and over. So hopefully we can try that out soon. I'm interested to see if that helps
Oh, yeah.
with anything. I mean, even with just relaxation.
You guys are in Illinois.
So
Illinois is a legal state for pretty much any kind of marijuana, medical or recreational.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's going to be easy to do, but you want to be careful doing it to make sure you get the result that you want.
Right.
Yeah. And Melissa actually got some gummies that are a hybrid. So they're half and half THC and CBD. And it's a very low THC percentage anyway. But yeah, even if we cut one in half and just try that, that would only be 2 milligrams of THC, which is nothing. I mean, even for people that don't smoke or ingest it at all, that's still a very, very low dosage. So
Jay, you had said that your experience with smoking weed back in college was not good, but that's a long time ago.
I know, like 50 years. Oh, not quite 50. Yeah, 50. Well, I'm old.
Yep. So, is that something you think you want to try?
I wouldn't smoke it. I'd try a gummy.
weed's different now than it was 50 years ago. The labs that they grow stuff in now, I mean, the science put behind it, there's just so much more thought into it. It's not the ditch weed that you could get an ounce for $20 back in the day.
It was $20 an ounce. That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is like very scientific.
Better control,
Yeah,
more purity, but it's also stronger.
it's a lot stronger. Yeah, it's very intense. But now, I mean, they have doctors behind it and they have actual scientists behind it. So, you know, whatever your ailment is, there's a strain for it. And there's different websites where people go and review it, you know, for different things. So, like, I have really bad anxiety, and weed definitely doesn't help that. But adding CBD into it, that helps a ton. And I only figured that out from just doing some research and, you know, people putting their experiences out there. But yeah, our local dispensaries, they've always got hybrid products, and they even have it now to where you can go sit down with a bud tender and kind of figure out what your best strain would be for what you're going through.
But
It's cool.
Here in South Carolina, we are still in the era of reefer madness, and they have tried to put up even the lightest of medical marijuana bills, and they're shot down by our
yeah, well, that's
super Republican legislature.
South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Your
it.
dad used to smoke weed.
I did not know that.
Yes, he
What?
did.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
For a little while when he was hip.
What era was this? Well, we were a family, or before he had
It would
kids.
have been in about 1973, 4.
Okay, yeah. So that's when I was
and
fully adult and you were just turning adult.
Yeah, he and I still live together out on Sheridan Road.
That's fascinating.
And he had a friend named Tony, and there were two girls that would come over. They were probably closer to my age than theirs.
Hmm.
That
Tony would
is,
come over and make steaks and salads, and they'd all whatever. I would just
I guess
leave.
we'll fill in the whatever blanks here in our
I would
minds,
feel uncomfortable and leave.
I guess.
Well, you did fill in a lot of blanks with that video.
Yeah. Back in 1997, our dad was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And I took my Hi8 video camera down to interview him about it. The reason that I did that is professionally, I had just finished working on somebody else's family project where they interviewed an elderly family member just to get them recorded for posterity before they passed away. And so I thought, well, this seems like a good idea. And I know my dad is going to have something happen. We don't really know what. And so I recorded some video at the early stages of that. He was still pretty much optimistic about what the results were going to be.
Well, now listen up, you grandchildren, because I'm going to be there when you see this. So if we miss anything, I can answer questions. But listen close, you probably won't have anything to miss, okay? It all started way back on the boat. I was down on the briny ocean, and I went up to see a Swedish doctor.
And it was very strange. They said, well, he's got thyroid cancer. Thyroid cancer is usually not life-threatening and is fairly easy to treat. But they found what he had to be pretty aggressive. And they thought, well, it must have come from somewhere else in his body. And they looked all over the rest of his body with scans and didn't find anything. And that's where we pretty much left it. I didn't record any more across the course of that summer. And then he passed away around Thanksgiving. So he went about 6 months from something that wasn't supposed to be all that bad.
Did he try chemo or radiation?
Cyndi, you can probably remember better than I do because my memory has all those big holes in it.
It was one or the other or both, but it was very short-lived. I mean, the surgery is what I really remember. But yeah, I think they at least did some radiation. And of course, you know, that was 26, 27 years ago.
Right.
The dark
And
ages.
well, I mean, yeah, in some scenarios, yes, just because of the you know, how far advanced we've come in detecting cancers within the body. So they just might have missed them because they just didn't, you know, have the right technology back then. But yeah, when I was listening to it, I was like, wow, that I don't remember all that detail about it. You know, mostly I just remember, you know, towards the end there, everything just was super quick. But I do believe he got at least radiation for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty much a family video, but I will stick it on our Pancreatic Cancer Cast YouTube channel if anybody wants to watch even just the first few minutes. It's about, 30, 45 minutes or so.
Well, the thing about it to me is that he was up and walking around and alert, feeling a lot better apparently than I am. And I want that period of time to hit.
Yeah,
Or I feel
Cyndi
good
was.
again.
Do you remember if he was that mobile and
In
able to
my
get around
memory,
during the summer?
he was physically seemed to be doing okay. I don't remember side effects. I mean, look at how I remember, you know, it's like a couple of days after a surgery or a week after a surgery, and showing you all these scars all over him. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how extensive it was. And then I was just surprised at how perky he was. But that's why I'm kind of thinking,
Well, at that
might have
point,
just gotten radiation and maybe not chemo. I don't know, but it was
at that point, he had not had any therapy
Right.
except for the surgery.
right. But let's see, and that was filmed in. It was in the summertime, so
But it was in May. I think in May
Oh,
of
okay.
1997. But that surgery was exploratory.
Yeah.
They were trying to find where, how far the cancer had spread. It was a head and neck surgery. So they were looking around his thyroid and looking down below the clavicle and to find out just where it was. They took some stuff out, but you'd see if you watch the video that they weren't able to get anything near getting everything out. They discovered just went too far. They had hoped that it had not spread that much, and it had just gotten much worse than they thought.
Yeah, that was the crazy part that I thought was it went from, oh, this isn't bad, there might not even be any cancer, like nobody can find any cancer, to, oh no, this is actually a very aggressive cancer. It was like the doctors just had no idea what they were looking at. And that just kind of blows my mind, because now these doctors here, I mean, he didn't even go into like a specialized place. He just went to a convenient care, like a rapid care place, and they were able to see tumors and know that that's exactly what it was. So, I mean, for these specialists 25 years ago to just have no idea, that just blows my mind.
Well, it's a generation ago.
Yeah.
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 Things
That's
have
how far we've come,
far.
thank goodness.
Jay, watching that video, how did you feel? What did you react? Because you hadn't seen very much of Dad as an adult anyway.
No, and I hadn't seen that video either. And I guess the thing that hit me was he looked very perky, and then 6 months later he was dead. And I'm starting out today feeling like crap. Does that mean I'm going to feel like crap for 6 months and die, or what? Or do I get to feel perky?
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't.
We don't know.
I wouldn't try to generalize from his experience. Can you bump your camera a little bit? You guys are floating off to the side of the screen. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's better.
And that's the first time Sarah ever saw Dad.
Oh, wow.
She'd never seen him before.
Yeah, I'd never even seen a picture of him or
Wow.
anything.
And
Yeah.
what year were you born?
94.
Okay, so he would have been.
I remember
you would
seeing-
have been 3 if you'd have seen him. So probably wouldn't remember
Yeah.
anyway.
No, she never saw it. Never came to see her.
Yeah, there's a really great story about him and Joe coming to pick Dale up, and I had just been born, and Joe wouldn't let him get out of the car to come in the house and see me.
They just picked up Dale and went to St. Louis.
Yeah, that is really sad.
They never did. Sarah's mom is my wife.
Which is really crazy to me, because in that video, he seemed like, I don't know, like I saw a lot of similarities between my dad and him, just the optimism and positivity and, I don't know, the general demeanor. But hearing any kind of story about him, he just wasn't that way. So it's a little confusing.
It is confusing.
Well, I think some of that was probably driven by Joe. And we never had a lot
I
of
think
conversation.
all of it was her influence.
We'll
Because
say
he wouldn't have felt that way if she hadn't been there to
Yeah, we used to be very close.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was funny because I was listening when Gary was making that recording upstairs. He didn't even tell me that he was doing it. And I'm listening, I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like Jay. But the conversation wasn't right. And so that's when I popped upstairs. I'm like, oh my gosh. Looking at him, listening to his father, and him is like, I knew I'd seen it, but when you see it in video form, it's like, wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I thought in the little clip when he comes out of surgery, I was just, it was so weird, because I just thought, wow, that looks exactly like my dad.
Okay, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. And coming around.
I have snippets of realization that, I have odds to beat. I'll just leave it at that. I'm very sick. I have odds to beat. I'm trying to give myself the best chances as possible. I go a couple of days sometimes without responding to anybody because I'm still getting a lot of communication. And it's nothing personal. It's just, my speaking is labored. It's hard for me to concentrate. It wears me out,
Yeah.
which makes me nauseous. And sometimes, 4 hours at a time, I'm just either asleep or not, but not concentrating on things. Have to have Melissa help me with book work, numbers work, and stuff like that because numbers become still transposed. Things are not clear to me.
Yeah, that's chemo brain, 100% chemo brain, and everybody gets it. Gary had it. All I remember about Gary is he just slept all day, every day, and that's just
Me, there you go.
See, that made me feel better. And I've gotten a lot of information from TikTok about chemo. And that made me feel good to know that he's not unique in this. And everybody loses weight. Everybody gets tired. Everybody has these food aversions.
and the nausea. I mean, that's the one that everybody sees, but Gary, nope. For whatever reason, that the nausea just didn't get him, which is very fortunate, but it's unusual. So yeah, so Jay, you're normal.
Thank you.
I also had, and they told me I would have days at a time when I would feel pretty good, and I did. And you haven't had any of those. You haven't had a day since your first chemo or even before where you have felt good. And I can see feeling really discouraged because there just been no feeling good time. And going into this, we thought, well, you probably would. It would come and go. Well, it hasn't come yet. I hope it does, and you hope it does.
Yeah. But that's not unusual too. It really isn't. I mean, once you start pumping that stuff into your body, you're at its mercy at that point.
But I will say that there have been some happy moments. I went and I got my white dudes for Kamala blood cells injected today. So I'm ready to go. Me and Jeff Bridges, the dude. We're ready to go, man.
Yeah.
The sense of humor has not evacuated his brain entirely.
Not yet. We've got some hostages back, prisoners back.
You're even watching the news.
Yeah, yeah. And my wife got me the Marquee Network so I can watch the Cubs games.
Right.
So it's not all bad. But the political scene has really taken an upturn here.
Thank goodness.
And, thank goodness.
Does that give you a lift in your spirits?
Yeah, it really does. Really does.
It gave me a big lift, I know.
Yeah, it gives me a big lift. If we were doing our other podcast, we'd talk a lot about it, but I'm ready to see the orange man go down in a big way to a woman that he doesn't even know what color she is. Because he's a dope.
Yeah, I've got my Facebook friends telling me she's not African American, she's Jamaican American at best. And I pointed out that Jamaica did not create black people on its own. They came from Africa. She's got African heritage, just like.
I also thought that Obama was Middle Eastern and not actually born here. And
That'd be
oh my
insane
God,
about Obama.
all of those insane theories. It's just people are so.
I
ignorant.
really embracing the fact that people are now not afraid to just call Republicans that follow Trump, etc. weird. They are weird. They're just weird.
Well, J.D. Vance helped that one too.
J.D. Vance.
He's a weirdo.
Total.
Okay, so you know what that makes this part of the discussion?
We're done.
Now here it comes. Yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd be able to do some of that. Not as much as I like, but a little bit, a little taste of it, the old show.
Well, what else? You tell me.
I am planning on heading back over to see you next couple weeks. But
Okay.
it's
Well,
probably,
whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Dale comes up. Sarah comes down on the weekends.
Yeah, I have Fridays off now. I just work Monday through Thursday. So my plan is every other weekend to come on Friday morning after I drop little Jay off at daycare and stay through the weekend.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Which job did you get?
I'm a dental hygienist assistant.
So the last time I talked to you, you were hoping for that job. You had applied for it,
Yes.
and
Yes,
you got it.
Yes, I was super excited and very nervous. But my goal is to be a dental hygienist. So this practice that I'm at, he actually went to U of I for dental school and for his bachelor's, and but he's been practicing since the 80s, and he's just a really cool dude. He's really into helping out the community, helping just everybody that needs it. I mean, he waives fees for people all the time, and just
Wow.
if you need it and you don't have the funds for it, he'll figure out a way. He's just such a good guy. But he also just loves to teach. I think he did teach for a little bit, but yeah, he wants you to stand right there next to him and he'll tell you every little detail about what he's doing. So it's a really good place to start and get my foot in the door. So I'm excited about that.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
And my money debacle got straightened out with the bank.
Yeah, you had
Somebody in Ohio opened up a checking account in my name at another bank and got money transferred from my account to it. And so I worked with my bank immediately, and they instituted a fraud alert. Found out it was set up with a cell phone that was an iPhone, and I don't even have an iPhone. So they tracked everything down, and now I'm going through the process of, we closed the account immediately. They opened a temporary account, had me write down all of my incoming and outgoing monthly payments. And I opened a new checking account and slowly was moving mine over. None of the ones that they said they were setting up happened. So checks were bouncing and direct deposits weren't made. So I'm in the middle of trying to figure all that out.
but at least the money that they had
But
transferred,
at least the money
you
got
back.
reinstated. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Wow.
You can commit fraud very easily over the internet, but you can also get caught very easily.
Did
Well,
did they catch the guy who did it?
Who knows?
Well, I mean, if they were able to pinpoint that it was done from an iPhone, they've got to be able to find like the iPhone that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe they'll do something with them, but at least you got the cash back.
Thank God.
That's really fucked up to steal from a cancer patient.
yeah.
On a fixed income.
Probably the guy had no idea, unless you watched the Jay and Gary show, had no idea
Probably what it was.
who you were. He got a number that he bought from some scammer and went to work on it.
There's a special place in hell for people like that.
Yes,
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So your feeling about what's going on in life, the universe, and everything has been low, but it's not always low. It comes up and down.
Yeah, it just depends, Some days are real hard. Yesterday and the day before were real hard.
Yep. So I think the way I look at it, I think the way that you look at it is a realistic outlook on what the odds are just based on statistics, and then the hope that you can beat them.
Well, my statistics are that I've read all over the map. 3 months from diagnosis.
I've
will
seen
be
that.
in, 2 weeks?
hmm
50-50 chance I'll be alive in 2 weeks.
But the closer you get to that time, the greater your chances of being in good shape will be, and that pushes that time out.
Well, and originally they had said 3 to 5 years
8% chance of being alive in 5 years.
before treatment started. So there's some hope there. Not everybody gets that initially. Some people hear that they have less than 6 months right off the bat.
Yeah,
True.
So, keeping that in mind, they had high hopes initially. So,
True.
So in this next set of images that they're going to get, is this kind of where they say, okay, it's been reducing, or maybe it hasn't
Yeah.
been,
Yeah.
when they adjust the chemo and the length of time that they'll be doing it for total?
yeah.
So we'll have those in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
how's the abdominal pain been? Is that pretty much taken care of?
No, it's still there. So what happens is if I want to eat, I have to sit straight up for a little bit, see if stuff will drain out, get all the way down through, drink a little something, see if that drains through, eat a little something, chew it up really good, let that go a little bit, drink a little something, see if that drains through. That's the process. Sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it stays stuck, and sometimes I barf it back up. Sometimes it's dry heaves or whatever.
And are the
Not a
doctors
sure bet that I swallow something and it's going to go down.
And as far as nutrition goes, I've got a bone to pick with these doctors because they recommend Ensure as a very nutrient dense, liquid calorie type of drink. But the second ingredient after water is corn syrup.
Sure. Yeah.
That just blew my mind that
Yeah, we
these
took my
doctors
mom
would
off it.
prescribe an inflammatory
Yeah.
drink. I don't get that.
And all the seniors are on it.
That's disgusting.
yeah, it's full
I
of
guess that it
calories, but
probably-
they're empty calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably helps people gain weight, but it also probably just totally messes up your gut.
Blood sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we're
Mom-
looking into other options like Fairlife. They make good high quality protein drinks, but
Are you using protein powder for any of that, like shakes or anything? That just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of what's going to, taste good to you, or at least not offend you. I don't know about anything tasting good right now,
Yeah.
but the less offensive, the better. And that's probably the only way to get it is to go protein powder route. But personally, I've never even had protein powder, so I don't know what it tastes like. But
It's awful. And
Okay.
I would have gotten through an apple and 2/3 of a donut, half a glass of cider while we talked.
well,
That'll
that's
be
good.
about it for a while.
and this is just a few hours I guess it's 6 hours after having an egg and some toast. But for the past 2 days, it was a couple bites of yogurt and a handful of blueberries.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big day.
That's great.
Yeah, but you need more of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but it's
need-
a good step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Now that we know that medicine's going to do something, I mean, this is inspiring to me at least.
Yeah, we'd
Now,
like
are
to see
you
every
on-
day be a day like today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you on the anti-nausea all the time, or is that just something you take when you don't feel well?
I take this stuff before I eat. That's a enzyme that replaces the pancreas enzyme.
Ah, okay.
And then I add on some anti-nausea all the time.
Okay.
And then some other before I go to sleep and take my pain pills. And I'm
Okay.
on the fentanyl all the time, and then I take the breakthrough pain pill when I go to bed so I don't wake up in the middle of the night.
And for the past few days, he's been getting sleep,
Yay.
which is good, like sleeping through the night, not
Mhm.
getting up in the middle of the night. Melissa said that's good.
Yeah, that's huge because when you don't get your sleep.
Well, I get it when people leave me alone.
So next time I come, my plan is to take Melissa on a girls' day and get our nails done, maybe see a movie or something, and
Yeah.
just leave him at the house for a few hours to just rest with no
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah. Maybe when Gary comes up, you all can take off.
Yeah, I can
Other
certainly
stuff.
I can certainly spend plenty of time there not interacting with you, just being there.
We'd come build a swing set. Nobody else will do it.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I can't guarantee what it will look like.
Quality construction.
I have the Pierce mechanical gene.
You and Dale come up
Yeah.
and do it together.
You've managed to overcome that mechanical gene, but I haven't. I break things faster than I can fix them.
But you can solder stuff.
I can, yeah, a little bit.
I'm done.
Yep, I don't think you've been going for over 30 minutes or almost 40 minutes, and I did not
Yeah, I'm
expect to
gonna
go
go.
more than about 10. So we're going to let you go.
I'm going to go in so I don't overheat, even though I'm cold.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just go to sleep no matter what anyone says.
There you go.
I think
You're in
they're gonna-
I've been
charge.
up at the
I think they're going to let
doctor
you.
today and yada yada.
You've been doing stuff all day. Yeah.
All right, love you all.
All right. Love you guys.
Yep,
Love
I
you.
love you, Jay. I love you, Sarah. I'm so glad to get to know you better, and I'm sorry that it took this to do it.
Well, we are here and the journey continues.
Yes. And we're here for you. So
We will be back on YouTube and the podcast at some indeterminate point in the future when Jay's up to getting in front of the camera. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
All right.
Bye.
See you all.
See you guys.
bye.
Over.
And out.
We always have to do that.